Hi, Sean. This is your video feedback. And one of the things we really loved, or that I really loved and noticed right away, was that we immediately get into some of your music and it's laid out very clean. We know exactly what you do by the time we get there. Top performer, we're not sure what that means, but you have the sound of Sean Van, so that's really good. I like that a lot. When we first come here, if we're scrolling to the very top, this you might want to bring the headshot down a little bit more because they're cut off right there. I'm thinking you want it, somewhere like this when they come in, maybe like that. But the colors are good. It looks nice. The book online um, needed to have some imagery here and so forth. You have your date updated, so that's really great. I don't know about putting a phone number because you might get more spam than anything for that. But if you have a designated line for that, Google something, maybe that's what you want to do. I'm not sure about this video, the way it's clipping here. You might want to um, size it to where it's more like this size. You could make this bigger, but then you're changing possibly your spacing and padding around here. And I'd want to know exactly what this is. It's a video. We didn't play it in class. It's 3 minutes. I'm guessing that you have the music to this, that you've done the music to it. In which case, that's cool. I really like this. It's just right, just the right amount of space there. You might want to try having it left aligned, possibly even justified if you can get the spacing to work. Otherwise, you might end up with too much spacing if you align it left and right. But it's nice, and I like this image. I don't know if that came with or if it was a Wix selection. We're kind of letting people know to try Unsplash. Of course, there's Pictobay and some other places where you can get some copyright-free images, right? I like the colors a lot, and I don't know if this is an ADI, but again, not a big fan of putting a phone number there. You can send it to them after they contact you, or put it on something that is unique that goes out to individuals that subscribe. Yeah, so I noticed this is black. That's kind of an eggplant, but that's up to you. Really like it. And let's go ahead and put your favicon up here. That would be a nice touch too. All right. If I hit listen, I want to know what I'm going to go to your SoundCloud. Very good. Yeah, not a lot of things to tweak, but you'll be able to work with Emily further next month. All right. Good job, Sean. Aries, one of the things that came up, everybody really loved your background and felt that that was really effective for what you were thinking about as far as creating worlds, fantasy worlds, and things like that. Again, you can have a favicon too. I think that's going to be nice once you get your logo. You want it to be really simple so that it can reduce down. I know you're working with Alec on that, and he'll continue to guide you. A little more spacing here. Not a fan of the black outline on text. Yeah, this could be just a little smaller, I think. That's usually not the way I go, but I think a little smaller. And a drop, I would rather see a very slight drop shadow that you can't see rather than the outline. But yeah, one of the things we talked about how some of the best work possible can be thrown together. And so let's just go ahead and say, this is a short story, a graphic novel. instead. And I would rather see an image of some sort than a PDF that's downloadable. And so, yeah, I think what we want to do is make these pages. Okay, I know you're going to pages, but let's make them navigation somewhere. It can be subtle over here, a little hamburger lines if you want, but I think that would be really great. I'm torn between, rounded corners and square corners being together. You might try making those similar. Um, Once you get the right padding here, it'll help. This probably can come down a little bit and give a little more room there. Love the background. Everybody really, really liked that. So we did take a look at some of these other things, and it's all right. It's fine to be humble when you say you're going to muddle through some things, but you can be more matter of fact here. I think for the title that you had there. Now see, I have to. You've got going back to the main page there. Kind of old school. That large back button description. But your designs here, it's just me maybe, but I'm a fan of sketchbook ideas because of the thinking that's there, because of the potential that's there, the uniqueness, the immediacy of it. This you do want, I think, to make that image a little more high contrast. Maybe all of them slightly more high contrast so you can see them, read them a little better. Again, I think navigation is just going to look better. Something a little more that doesn't overpower this background so much. Yeah, I prefer these. I put them up further. And these you want to be all the same size, maybe little thumbnails. It's a lot of white space here for this. Right, so you want to bring that in a little bit. Plug that in a little. Yeah, so lay those out. Lay those symbols out. You call them symbols. You can gang them up together if you want. Yeah. So again, I have to go back to the back page, you see, to check out anything else. So how about navigation? That's going to be the best thing. And that's your Discord. All right. Click here. I really want to read this whole thing. Just don't like this icon for that. So think about your options there, but otherwise, really great work. Really starts to help unfold who you are, and you're unlike anybody else in the class, so your path is a little different, but it's really exciting. You're not using the CMS as a blog or as a WordPress for writers. You are beginning to create your world here, and you're kind of opening that door to us. So that's kind of cool. I like that, and I want you to hold on to that as you go through your program. All right, make sure that everything you do, especially your website, is an entry into that world. All right. And you can get really creative with that concept too. Make it subtle as we walk through. Anonymous Bosch, there's a, I'm not going to talk to you about it, maybe in Blend. There's a site where you can look at Anonymous Bosch paintings and go through as like a 3D. And it's a world. And so I want you to look at that. And we'll have to pull that up sometime, all right? I'll try and send it to you if I find it. Okay. Good work, Aries. Trevor, I like this. I like this background, very simple. And you do want to put your name down here, fix this up, date and so forth. Right now, this is going to Wix. You want to go to yours, so that's important. Let's see. And when you, I would like by the time you get to Emily, which is coming up next week, I would like you to have a headshot put in here, right? And no placeholder text. Take a few minutes to write something, even if it's not 2 paragraphs. Okay, that's that much I want you to have is your own photo and a little bit about you. All right. And so your portfolio you'll work on throughout the next time coming up. We talked about you were going to work on portraits as a start. So this is a good start. And you want to start collecting those. Get up close and make sure you have highlights in the eyes. And just begin doing it. There's some great lighting over in building 4A, the one that has the circular windows. If you take someone in there, the lighting is usually pretty good at most times of the day. So you can start there and start collecting, take pictures of your classmates and anybody you can, all right? Good work. It's a good start. Okay, this will be fine. You'll start to put your own photo in here that you created, okay? Yeah, and since we're talking about getting you on the direction of photography, you don't want to necessarily go to Unsplash or something because you want to start populating it with your work, even if it's not awesome. You want to put in your best of what you have, and it will change and it will improve, but the habit of doing it will be good for you, all right? Okay. All right, Casper, we all loved this. Everything was cool. You did use ADI, you said. Again, not a fan of the phone number being there. You're going to add your Instagram. You've got your Facebook, but you're going to add your Instagram. Everybody loved the fact that you had hats coming up. And this is a nice degree of text here. It's just right. Some people thought that you would take off the me. Doesn't bother me, but maybe that's what you want. Some people thought you didn't need to say my mission statement, that you would just put it there. I could go either way on that because you might have something there that's a quote, but not necessarily your mission. So if you want to say it's your mission, you can, but up here you would say mission. And like we talked about, quote sounds a lot like you're getting a financial quote from somebody for some projected work. So that we want to change. Everything is working here and everything looks good. It's consistent. And I know you have a new site coming up and that's cool. I like this. There was some discussion. Letitia gave you some feedback on this as well, some detailed feedback. I think she wanted this gone and maybe this bigger. So you can get with her and after you make some changes, ask her if that's what she thought, because I know that you were there during that particular feedback session. So, all right, nice work. Like what everybody's done. And again, the screen flow that we made in class crashed. It was very extensive, very long. So there's this recap. All right, good work, everybody.